Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Passport to Crime podcast. My name is Oakley and today we're delving into a case full of symbols, two strange men and an unsolved death. Today we're looking at the lead masks mystery. Before we begin today's case, I'd like to remind our viewers and listeners that listener discretion is strongly advised. The following episode of the Passport to Crime contains descriptions of real-life mysterious deaths, bizarre ritual-like behaviour, and disturbing details surrounding one of Brazil's most enduring unsolved cases. This episode is intended for a mature audience. The goal of this podcast is to bring awareness, stimulate critical thinking, and encourage responsible investigation into cases that remain open-ended, even decades later. We tell these stories not to sensationalise suffering, but to illuminate mysteries that still demand answers. If you're uncomfortable with themes involving unexplained deaths, cryptic messages, or potential psychological distress, you may want to skip today's episode. Please remember to take care of yourself, and remember, some passports lead not only to countries, but to crime. With that being said, let's delve into today's case. The date is August 20th. The year 1966, when a boy flying his kite on Morro do Vintém, a steep hill just outside Niterói, Brazil, stumbles across a haunting sight. Two bodies laid side by side, fully clothed, with waterproof coats and lead masks covering their eyes. Next to the bodies, an empty water bottle, a package of wet towels, and a note that reads, 1630. Be at the specified location, 1830, ingest capsules, after effect protect metals, await signal mask. It was the beginning of one of the most chilling mysteries in South American history. So who were they? The men were identified as Manuel Pereira de Cruz and Miguel Jose Viana, two electronics technicians from Campos de Goitacazes, friends, colleagues, and amateur scientists. The questions began immediately. Why did they leave home so suddenly? Why the masks? And more importantly, why the note? This wasn't a spontaneous trip. It was planned. But for what? Now we look at the trail of clues left behind. They bought bus tickets to Niterói, purchased waterproof coats, 2 bottles of water from a local bar, where, interestingly, the waitress recalled one of them looked extremely nervous and constantly checking the time. Were they expecting something? Watching the clock for a reason? But this is where the story gets really unnerving. There was no signs of violence on the bodies. There was no struggle. And the toxicology report was labelled as inconclusive. Now let's look at the theories. Was it a suicide pact gone wrong? A secret ritual, or a scientific experiment, or something far stranger? Some current theories include spiritualism. They were known to be interested in the occult. UFO summoning. The note references awaiting a signal. Could it be extraterrestrial contact? Or radiation exposure tests. As electronics technicians, they could have been working on clandestine devices. But why lead masks? Why such precision? And why no answers, even after the autopsy? Cult connections and symbolism. A former colleague of the men claimed they were part of a secret spiritualist circle. Not a cult per se, but a group of metaphysical knowledge, through experimentation. That note could have been some ritual instructions. Protect metals, maybe that's where the lead masks come in. Shields for the sun, or their minds. Police missteps and media spin. As the press got a hold of the story, it spiraled. Aliens killed 2 men on a hill. Lead masks, suicide cult. The headlines were relentless, but the investigation lax. Evidence was mishandled, the bodies were left exposed to the elements, crucial medical testing was delayed, and the mystery deepened. Never solved. Legacy of the lead masks. The hillside has become a local legend. Urban explorers visit, locals whisper, and yet still no one knows why those men left that day. but everyone agrees it was completely random. 59 years later, the questions still echo. Who were they meeting? What were they protecting themselves from? And what was the signal they awaited? Some cases close with a satisfying snap. This one, it lingers like a fog. The lead mask mystery reminds us that sometimes facts get buried within the bodies. As we wrap up today's episode, I'd like to say thank you for joining me on this unsettling journey through Brazil's strangest unsolved deaths. If this case fascinated you, please share the podcast, drop us a like and subscribe, and let us know what mystery we should board a flight for next. Because with the passport to crime, every stamp in the passport leads to a story. Thanks for listening, and if you're not already, please make sure to like and subscribe. Until next time, keep your passports ready for the unknown.